The parents of Brooke Wilberger speak out on the anniversary of her disappearance. Danger on the river, what you should look out for this Memorial Day weekend, plus how warm will it be? And clearing up the mist, is there a link between cancer and hair dye?
From KGW, where the news comes first, this is Northwest News Channel 8 at 5.
12 months, thousands of tips, and hundreds of thousands of hours of searching, and still no sign of Brooke Wilberger.
You know, you never, as a parent, ever give up.
Good evening. I'm Tracy Berry.
And I'm Joe Donlin. The anniversary of Brooke's disappearance is our top story tonight. News Channel 8's Kylie Boshi joins us live from Corvallis, where Brooke was last seen 1 year ago. Kyle?
Joe, over the past years, investigators say they've used every tool in the book, from psychics to underwater sonar to search a nearby lake. But so far, nothing. They still believe she was abducted. And 1 year later, there's still no sign of Brooke Wilberger. Gone, but not forgotten. 1 year after Brooke Wilberger disappeared, her tattered picture is still posted on street signs in Corvallis. Her friends and family are not giving up.
If you lose someone through an accident or illness, you know what's happened. And we're still dealing with the unknown.
On the morning of May 24th, 2004, Brooke Wilberger was alone, cleaning light posts at this Corvallis apartment complex, when the BYU student simply vanished without a trace. Police think someone abducted the 19-year-old. Since then, investigators have searched nearly 4,000 acres and followed up on 5,000 tips.
We're not done yet. This isn't a cold case until we've exhausted everything that we can to look into where Brooke is, what happened to Brooke, and who's responsible for her disappearance.
Brooke's family prays the case will someday be solved.
It's just a piece missing, and so that's, you just dwell on that.
If you come to a realization that finding her alive is probably not as big a percentage as you had hoped for in the beginning.
For students at nearby Oregon State University, the unsolved case has affected their sense of security.
I think it really haunts us all because I think we still feel this presence, and this, especially women, we're constantly in fear because it's this unsolved case. It doesn't matter where you're from or who you are. Someone was taken off of our campus, and we'll always remember that. Neighbors admit this entire community will never be the same, not knowing what happened to Brooke Wilberger on that sunny spring day 1 year ago. Investigators say currently there are 2 persons of interest in this case. They aren't releasing any details except to say they've been on that list for several months. Obviously, no arrests in this case either. Back to you, Tracy.
Thank you, Kyle. We're following a developing story tonight. A couple of hours ago, officials found the body of a man near the town of Alsea. They found it during their search for 2 missing Albany men. Northwest Cable News reporter Wilson Chow just talked with investigators. What are they saying, Wilson?
Well, Benton County Sheriff's deputies and 2 other agencies are out here on the scene looking for any clues into the disappearance of those 2 men. Over here you can see in these live pictures that they are still working at this hour. This is where they have been looking for answers into the disappearance of those 2 Albany men. Authorities say 22-year-old Jesse Reisman and 31-year-old Shane Buckley were last seen on Friday night with 19-year-old Mitchell Miller. The families of Reisman and Buckley got worried when the 2 did not return home. Miller is only a person of interest in this case, but a man's body was found in Miller's grandparents' cabin just this afternoon. He is now under arrest, but charged only with burglarizing the cabin. Police won't say if he is one of the missing men or how he died, but investigators say a tip led them to the cabin.
They were all 3 seen together over the weekend at some point, and so that's what led the investigators to interview him.
And once again, Miller has not been charged with the disappearance of those 2 men. He is just a person of interest at this time. We'll stay on the scene and continue to work this story for you and bring you new details tonight at 6. Joe, back to you.
Wilson, thanks. We'll see you then. It's all part of the job. At least that's the reaction of a Portland firefighter who rescued a disabled man from a burning apartment this morning. That fire broke out this morning at the Capitol Gardens Apartments in Southwest Portland. Nicole Dahl is live in the newsroom tonight with details. Nicole?
Joe, the fire started just before 8 this morning, and it would have been routine except for a man in a wheelchair trapped inside. One bystander tried to rescue the man, but was forced back outside by dense smoke. That's when firefighter Monty Sherling arrived with the first fire truck and rushed inside the burning apartment.
The kitchen was fully involved and it was spraying to the attic. smoke down to your, knees, and yeah, there was, you had to go in and do it. That's part of the job.
From Sky 8, you can see firefighters cut holes in the roof to vent the smoke out. Fire crews say it looks like the fire started in the kitchen of one of the units, but there's no word on an exact cause. The man in the wheelchair, meantime, who was rescued, was taken to the hospital to be checked out for smoke inhalation. But certainly, Tracy, a good job by that firefighter this morning. Back to you.
Absolutely, all in a day's work, huh? Thank you, Nicole. It's a taste of summer. Just as we head into a holiday weekend, the warm weather will likely send many people to cool off in Northwest rivers. We have News Channel 8 team coverage. Matt Zaffino will tell us just how hot it's going to get. Dave Northfield has a unique look at river rescues. But we begin with Bruce Sussman live in Sky 8 tonight with a look at hidden dangers in the rivers. Bruce?
Well, Tracy, when it gets hot, as you know, people with boats can't get to the water fast enough. Below Sky 8 right now, you can see the Willamette River. It's filled to its banks. But that actually means that logs and debris that used to sit on the shore, they're now floating downriver thanks to recent rains that raised river levels. Earlier today, we found all kinds of big locks, big chunks of wood, and floating debris on the Willamette as we flew between Portland and Oregon City. And we also went out on the Columbia with Multnomah County's River Patrol. Deputies say it's a dangerous mix, obstacles in the water, and boaters who've been waiting for months to get some sunshine.
They grab the 6-pack of beer or the half-rack of beer, whatever they've got, throw it in the boat, and away they go because it's a nice weekend and they just want to get out and have fun. And they don't stop and think, okay, what do we have to do to make this fun and safe out here?
You know, that often leads to tragedy. In fact, since 2000, there have been over 300 boating accidents and 70 people were killed in those boating accidents, most of them not wearing life jackets. Now, coming up tonight at 6, the latest on river water temperatures plus pictures of some boating accidents Multnomah County deputies have seen on our local rivers. But as you can see tonight, it's tempting to get out on the river. Back to you.
It sure is, Bruce. Thanks. We'll see you at 6. With this warm weather, it might be tempting to cool off in one of the area's many rivers, but experts say be careful. There's a lot of danger just below the surface. News Channel 8's Dave Northfield joins us live now from the banks of the Sandy River near Troutdale. Dave?
Joe, we are right around the corner from Glen Otto Park, and the river behind me, as you can see, very serene, but just around the corner, the current is running much faster. That's why AMR's River Rescue program is so important. The current is flowing at 6 to 7 miles an hour, and it's very difficult for people to keep their footing. AMR is launching its 7th season of the lifeguard program at Glen Otto and High Rocks Park near Gladstone. The lifeguards have been practicing their rescue techniques to prepare for the start of the season. There were 12 drownings at Glen Otto during a 5-year period in the 90s. Since the program began, there have been 0. The 2 trouble spots here just off the beach and downriver near the rocks.
We also do them down in the chute where the water drops from about 10 feet to 25. So a lot of people get worried down there because they realize they can't touch bottom anymore.
Photographer Casey Nolan and I also got in the water ourselves to see firsthand just how easy it is to get into trouble here and how quickly the lifeguards snap into action. Back live, High Rocks Park hasn't seen a drowning either since they started the program in 2002, but you can see live 2 people in the river. It's very tempting, but again, the message, be very careful in these rivers. They're treacherous, and wear a life jacket if you do go in. Back to you.
Thanks, Dave. Chief Meteorologist Matt Zaffino joins us now from the First Alert Weather Center. Matt, I guess we may break some records.
Tracy, we're going to get close. In fact, let me show you what the records are for Thursday. That'll be the warmest day of the week across most of Oregon. Portland's record is 92 degrees. Now, we're going to get close. I don't think we'll get quite that warm, but we will be in that neighborhood. Beaverton's record is 91, Astoria 78, Salem 86, and Hillsborough 92. Now, coming up in just a few minutes, we'll let you know who is most likely to break a record on Thursday, and will the warm weather last into the big holiday weekend? I'm afraid you may not like the answer. I'll have the complete forecast for you in a bit. Back to you.
Well, then I think we know, don't we? Thanks, Matt. You can go to KGW.com for complete weather coverage, including the latest temperatures in Oregon and Washington, river levels, and personalized forecasts for where you live. That's all on KGW.com.
Crews recovered the bodies of 2 climbers from Mount Rainier today. The uncle and nephew left Saturday to climb that mountain near Ashford. 57-year-old Tim Stark and 27-year-old Greg Stark from Lakewood were trapped and killed during a storm with whiteout conditions. Mount Rainier officials say the men did have weather gear in their backpacks that could have saved their lives, and it's unclear why the men didn't use it. The two Portland climbers rescued after an avalanche on North Sister are recovering in the hospital. One is in fair condition, the other in serious condition. The two were on their way down from the summit Sunday when they were swept away by an avalanche. Two climbers who were with them called for help on their cell phones. A Black Hawk helicopter lifted all of the climbers off the mountain.
Last weekend's avalanche rescue brought back memories of another amazing survival story. A man in Eugene remembers the day when he was smothered in an avalanche for 20 minutes. He actually stopped breathing, yet somehow managed to survive. Vince Patton is here now with his story. Vince?
Tracy, he really doesn't even know how he did it. Charles Campbell says it just wasn't his time to die.
It turns night. It turns night when you're inside the avalanche. It turns completely black.
23 years ago, Campbell and three friends were climbing one of Alaska's highest peaks, Mount St. Elias. It's 18,000 feet tall. He took several photos of other avalanches up there. Then a giant one came after two of them, a cascading mass of snow, which they tried but failed to outski. It buried him 3 feet under the snow.
The other side of the mountain. I immediately passed out. I had very little memory of anything other than being buried and going, oh my goodness, this is probably it for me.
Yep, here is what Campbell looked like after his friends dug him out and he miraculously started to breathe again on his own. Only a scratch on his nose. Campbell believes the hypothermia that nearly killed him also likely saved him, chilling his body when he stopped breathing during the 20-minute rescue. Tracy and Joe?
I'm exhausted just hearing it. Exactly.
Well, it could be a victory for the war on terror. Reports that one of Iraq's most wanted terrorists is seriously injured.
Laurel Porter joins us now with news beyond the Northwest.
U.S. officials in Washington, D.C. say they don't know if the reports about Abu Musab al-Zarqawi are true, but experts on al-Qaeda say it looks like good news. The announcement appeared on this jihad website that publishes propaganda from al-Qaeda. It says the group's founder and commander is injured and asks followers to pray for his recovery. Al-Qaeda lieutenants tell the Washington Post that Zarqawi was shot in the upper chest in a clash with U.S. and Iraqi forces over the weekend, but again, the U.S. is not confirming that report yet. The Senate expects to vote tomorrow on one of President Bush's nominees to become a federal judge. Priscilla Owens' confirmation has been on hold for 4 years, but last night Democrats agreed to drop their objections. In return, Republicans vowed not to change filibuster rules. The U.S. House of Representatives passed a controversial bill today that calls for the government to pay for embryonic stem cell research. The House approved it by a 238 to 194 vote. That is far short of the two-thirds majority needed to override a veto, which President Bush has promised to do. Supporters say it could advance cures for diseases, but opponents compare it to abortion. Comedian Jay Leno did not deliver the punchline Michael Jackson's defense lawyers had hoped. They wanted to show the accuser's mother tried to defraud celebrities out of money. The defense claimed the accuser called Leno and implied that he wanted money, but Leno said the boy never asked for anything. Some court experts say it was the prosecution that got the last laugh, but really that might have belonged to Jay Leno himself when he left the stand and told jurors actress Renee Zellweger is going to be his guest tonight on The Tonight Show. Tracy and Joe.
Always promoting.
Absolutely.
How well do you know your neighbors? There's a new trend in housing that's having a major impact on that question.
It's like having your extended family around all the time.
We'll tell you about a unique approach to community living that's bringing neighbors together and gaining a foothold in Portland.
Does hair dye increase your risk for cancer? We'll tell you the results of a new study.
The danger of secondhand smoke, how quickly it can do damage to your body.
It's very expensive, and there's no guarantee it will work. New at 6, stem cell transplants for pets. How it's providing hope for one dog owner. Plus,
it's been nearly a year since a woman walking her dog was killed here on the Morrison Bridge. What's been done to make the bridge safer?
Tonight at 6 on News Channel 8.
Hey, racing fans, it's go time. Toyota is shifting into gear with Memorial Day values during the nationwide sales drive. Get low 2.9% APR financing for 60 months on Highlander or Sequoia. Or get $1,000 cash on Highlander or Sequoia. And Sienna has 3.9% APR financing for 60 months or $500 cash for the first time ever. Toyota's nationwide sales drive is on now. Owning the winner's circle. Now that's moving you forward.
There's nothing in this world more important to me than the health of my family.
All healthcare companies say they care, but I need more than talk.
Pacificare believes caring is good. Doing something is better.
From now on, it's gonna be a better way, a brand new day.
To Pacificare, healthcare is more than just about caring. You have to show it. You have to prove it.
From now on, you're gonna find someone who knows what you need. From now on.
Of course, in healthcare, you have to care, but people expect deeds, not just words. That's what we deliver.
I'm Brian Williams. Tonight, can where you work affect what you weigh? Believe it or not, doctors think you could lose 30 pounds or more if your company could rethink your office. The office of the future is here today. We'll have that story and more tonight on NBC Nightly News.
Now, back to Tracy Berry and Joe Donlin on Northwest News Channel 8.
When's the last time you borrowed something from your neighbor or all got together for an old-fashioned potluck?
News Channel 8's Stephanie Strickland says people in Portland are creating close-knit communities where that's the norm.
It's co-housing and it's gaining a foothold here and across the U.S. You own your home, which is often a unit in a shared building. You also own an equal share of the land and the common areas. Tonight, I'll look at one local co-housing community in action.
I'm just going to poke mine right here.
That's fine. Getting your hands dirty is part of the plan in the community garden at Cascadia Commons.
Bok choy and lettuce greens.
This is where the kids own this little square right here. There's not much in it because we forgot to plant this here.
We have tomatoes, garlic, we have a pepper.
The open, collectively maintained garden helps distinguish Cascadia Commons from other high-density housing. These 26 units spread across 3 acres are set up sort of like condos. People own their own home and they can sell it as they see fit.
We have as much privacy as we want, and when we're feeling social and we want to get out, then we just step out our front door.
The sizes range, 1,300 square feet for the largest, and
our space is one of the smallest spaces on the complex. It's a one-bedroom, and it's only 700 square feet.
But people who live in Cascadia Commons are quick to point out the walls that define these 26 units do not define the sum total of what they own.
So we own 1/26 of the common house, we own 1/26 of the wetlands, we own 1/26 of the grassy areas.
We've got the common house right over there. It's just a nice area where we can all gather.
This is the common house.
It's really special.
It's more of an idea than a place.
The spacious 3,500 square feet, replete with guest bedrooms, internet access, hot tub, and a rec room.
It's the room where you can bounce around and go crazy, do somersaults, flips, things like that. And it's really fun.
It's collectively used.
So this is our community library.
Collectively managed.
The whiteboard with messages.
And collectively appreciated.
It's an extension of everybody's home.
But another unusual facet is also one of co-housing's biggest challenges.
The plethora of meetings.
Consensus decisions. It requires residents to play well with others.
You got to really figure out how to be creative and find solutions that work.
I'm terrible at passing.
Some of the biggest challenges for me are learning how to get along with people with whom I have such divergent views.
Because you're going to have to agree with people or somehow come to terms with people. But I love that.
Okay, awesome.
Time to eat. Is this your shrimp and rice thing? As this day at Cascadia Commons winds to a close.
Looks good. Smells good. Tastes good.
A weekly common meal builds bonds among these once strangers, now friends.
But there was a small rebellion.
It's sort of a cross between an intentional neighborhood and an extended family.
Who made the shrimp pasta? I never find out about that until it's all over.
Whether it's in meetings or at meals or just hanging out or doing favors for each other, we get to know each other more deeply and more intimately, and that's what I wanted, was to be connected with other people.
But you know, is co-housing right for you? You can visit KGW.com and click on Lifestyles, where there's a test you can take. Home prices vary by owner. For some perspective, we pulled this flyer a while ago for a 2-bedroom, 935 square foot unit for $169,900. Back to you.
What a great concept.
And what a pretty spot they found, especially today, huh?
Every spot was pretty today with the sunshine. One of the prettiest days we've had, well, since March, before the rain kicked in. You got to go back really a good couple of months. Here's another beautiful shot for you. This is live from our Skycam out at Newport. Ah, yes, the coast when it's clear. Nothing quite as pretty as that. Pretty good north wind, though, blowing on down the coast, and that will continue tomorrow. It's going to actually bend around to the east a little bit, and that'll help warm things up. We may be seeing some record high temperatures at Newport, for instance, tomorrow afternoon. Speaking of high temperatures, 72 in Portland. That's 4 degrees above our average high for the day. So nice to get on the plus side again for a change. 61 at Newport, 61 in Coos Bay, and in eastern Oregon, still a little bit cooler, 70 at Pendleton tops, other than the 72 in Ontario. But everybody will be warming up over the next few days. Closer into home, you can see we had a 73 at Aurora and McMinnville, 72 in Troutdale, and Cascade Locks warming up to 75. A little bit of an east wind helping the cause there. It is 71 with a crystal clear blue sky right now in Portland. Nice breeze out of the north-northwest at 14 miles an hour, falling barometer and a rising freezing level, 9,500 feet. So about the only place in the state that had cloud cover this morning was right here in the Willamette Valley over Multnomah County, parts of Clackamas County. But watch how it burned off quickly, and we were left with sunshine. Now, that'll be the case through the next couple of days, but yes, there is a but in this. There's a storm off the coast here, and this nice big ridge of high pressure that's been developing over us is going to get shoved aside as we get into Friday night and Saturday, and this front's going to roll in on Saturday and bring us some showers right smack dab in the middle of our holiday weekend. Sorry about that, but that's just the way it looks. Rest of the country, Phoenix cooling off, 102 today. Wow, 62 in New York. They got showers back east. Now here's Futurecast, and you can see the east winds here. They will not only continue tomorrow, but increase as we go into Thursday, and that'll be our warmest day of the week, the month, the year. Sunny, windy on the coast again tomorrow. North winds 15 to 25, but Astoria climbs to 76. Tillamook will hit 80, and down in Newport about 69 for a high. In the valley, sunny and quite a bit warmer than today. We'll increase it by a good 10 degrees. 85 in Salem, 83 in Kelso. Be our first 80-degree day of 2005. Sunny in the Cascades. Look at the freezing level up to 12,000 feet. 62 at Timberline tomorrow, so it's going to be melting some snow. Sunny in the Gorge, east winds at 5 to 20, 84 at Hood River, 85 in the Dalles. Central and eastern Oregon, you will be clear as a bell. Smith Rocks and everywhere else. High of 81 in Pendleton, 77 in Bend, and 80 in Madras. And in Portland and Vancouver, absolutely beautiful evening out there. It will be a bit breezy overnight. Clear, cool tomorrow morning, 49. We get up to 84, and there it is, the WDOY, the warmest day of the year. Mid-80s throughout the region, and our 7-day forecast. Unfortunately, had to throw that rain in now Saturday night and into early Sunday. But Thursday looks outstanding, up to 89.
Thursday.
The record is...
Fat lot of good that does.
That's great, Matt.
That's all I got for you.
Thanks, Matt.
Oh, gosh. Well, we can't blame the weather for this one, but we do have a bad accident we want to tell you about in case you're waiting for somebody to get home. This was Highway 26 if you're heading into town eastbound. It's shut down now at Murray for a multiple car accident. You can see nobody's getting through. Traffic already backed up for several miles, possibly back to 185th at this point. Look at that. Oh,
and that's just going to get worse.
It is. As everyone heads out, we'll keep you up to date on that.
Still ahead, we'll tell you about a new study about dyeing your hair. Is there a link to cancer?
Then on Nightly News, the emotional debate over the use of federal funding for stem cell research. Will President Bush use his veto power for the first time if Congress loosens its restrictions? That's on Nightly News at 5:30.
This News Channel 8 segment is brought to you by your local Honda dealers.
This is the Civic Value Package from Honda. And this is a gallon of regular unleaded gasoline. The Civic can get up to 38 miles on just one of these. And with a full tank, the Civic has a range of up to 500 miles. Given the rising cost of gasoline these days, we just thought you'd want to know. The remarkably efficient Civic Value Package from Honda. Now you can lease a Civic Value Package for $159 a month for well-qualified buyers.
Bill steps up for the putt. He's wearing a designer knit shirt and shorts he bought at a department store for $87. Oh. Bob is wearing the identical outfit from Ross for only $32. No wonder Bill is so teed off. Ross, there's no comparison.
Well, Did you get them? Yeah. What do you think? They look great. How do they feel? They feel fine. How long do you have to wear them? Not long.
Hi, Megan. Braces.
Yeah.
Cool.
Now is the time to give your child a beautiful, confident smile. Northwest Orthodontic Specialists offers no down payment options and low monthly payments. Call 1-800-4BRACES to schedule a complimentary consultation.
So for most two-cycle engines, you set the switch to on, set the choke, prime it, then you pull the cord.
Cool, thanks. Okay, sir, I got it all figured out. You gotta switch it to on, pull the choke. What?
When you're ready for outdoor power equipment, assembled, sold, and serviced by real experts, you're ready for a steal.
It's the Jeep Memorial Day sales event. Right now, get up to $3,500 in combined cash allowances or 0% financing on select Jeep vehicles. Plus, make no monthly payments until November. And get great deals on all Jeep vehicles, like the all-new Grand Cherokee, 4-wheel and off-road magazine's 4x4 of the year, the newly redesigned Liberty, with a 5-star side impact crash test rating, and even the adventurous Wrangler. Hurry into the Jeep Memorial Day sales event. These deals end May 31st.
An outfit like this was on sale at a department store for $49.99. At Ross, you could buy it for $24.98 every day, which means you can get a bag and shoes to match and still have money left over. Ross, there's no comparison.
For your health tonight, good news if you dye your hair.
A review of nearly 40 years of research suggests hair dye poses little or no risk of cancer. That's contrary to previous studies. According to the review, dyeing your hair does not affect the risk of breast and bladder cancer. There's a very small increase in the risk of some blood, lymph, and bone marrow-related cancers. It's estimated 1/3 of women in North America and Europe and 10% of men over 40 use hair dye.
There's new proof that exposure to secondhand smoke can start damaging your body in minutes. A new report finds the effects of secondhand smoke is almost as bad as actually smoking. Researchers say damage to the blood vessels, and the heart can begin just 5 minutes after exposure. They don't know how long the effects last, but researchers believe every time you're exposed, some of the damage is permanent.
If tall ships float your boat, you won't want to miss this, how you can see the stars of the silver screen right here in the Northwest.
We'd try every avenue that we could to save her.
Going to extremes to save a family pet. How canine stem cells are being used to treat cancer in dogs, and why it has some people raging mad. Tonight at 6 on News Channel 8.
I'm 18.
In their own words.
And I don't remember a lot from the last 2 years of my life.
Trading sex for meth.
Eventually, you're going to look back on it and regret every moment.
Unit 8's unprecedented look at teens and meth. Tonight at 11 on News Channel 8.
Out of gas?
Yeah. Dodge Grand Caravan. The only minivan with stow and go. Another minivan first from Dodge.
Daddy just had to get a motorcycle, didn't he?
Funny, huh? During the Dodge Memorial Day event, get great deals, plus May bonus cash and make no monthly payments until November. Hurry in soon.
The Mervyn's Max sale is this Wednesday. You know what that means, right? Maximum savings of 50% off all over the store. Here comes the sun and the savings. Just what I need right now for the whole family is half off. Like half off swimwear and shorts, crops and skirts, flip-flops and sandals, tees and tank tops, sunglasses and summer handbags. Plus 50% off summer beach towels, dinnerware, and drinkware. Those will be great for the pool party. It's the most, the greatest, the best. It's the Max. And they open early at 8 a.m. See you this Wednesday at Mervyn's.
You're looking pretty good, except for that.
And all that. At least you're comfortable, right?
Found this. Here, I'm just gonna put it right there.
Look at you.
Becoming a rodeo clown. Tempting.
Here's something tempting you should try. Taco Time's all-new sizzling steak burrito and steak burrito bowl. Char-grilled marinated steak topped with our zesty salsa.
Taco Time. Tempting. In a good way.
Days are running out for Hyundai's Memorial Day sales event. Get up to $3,500 cash back or 0% APR in select models, including the Hyundai Santa Fe, winner of Strategic Vision's 2004 Total Value Award. Day after day, Hyundai's award-winning quality lets us offer America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles. So hurry and get up to $3,500 cash back or 0% APR now for Memorial Day weekend at Hyundai. Hurry to your Hyundai dealer now for Memorial Day weekend for up to $3,500 cash back or 0% APR.
Where the news comes first. Northwest News Channel 8. This is breaking news.
Well, as if Highway 26 isn't bad enough at this time of the night, it is especially bad tonight. A 6-car accident, we're now told, on eastbound Highway 26 at Murray. The backup now stretches beyond 185th. Westbound also starting to back up as well as people stop to look and see what's happened. There's no word just yet on when they might have that cleared. But again, all eastbound lanes of 26 shut down at this hour.
New at 6 tonight, she's haunted by the memory of a horrible accident. 1 year ago, she watched as a pedestrian was struck and killed on the Morrison Bridge. Tonight, how she's channeled that energy to making the bridge safer. Plus the treatment that could cure a common cancer in dogs. Vets have the technology, but wait until you hear the cost. How it works tonight at 6.
All aboard. 2 tall ships with ties to the big screen are docked in Vancouver. These are pictures of Privateer Lynx and Lady Washington. Both were in the movie Pirates of the Caribbean. And today, students from Applegate Elementary set out on a 3-hour sail to learn about navigation, life as a sailor, and much more.
How much they weigh, how long they are, and how tall they are. I think I really want to go to the history station because I love learning about history.
I think that this is going to be a great experience that I can remember for my whole life.
You can tour the ships until 9 tonight, and tomorrow from 4 to 5. To learn more, you can go to the lifestyle section at KGW.com.
Johnny Depp?
Not there, I don't think.
Okay. Nightly News is straight ahead with a look at how to avoid a new scam that targets your bank account. Why anyone who's ever written a check could be vulnerable.
And could redesigning your office help you lose 30 pounds a year? A look at how revolutionizing the workplace could go a long way in battling obesity.
That's coming up next on Nightly News, and we'll be back at 6.